Hey guys, Matt here with Dog and Pine Leather Goods, or if you're watching just through the YouTube channel, Matty Builds. I know the name's different, can't do nothing about that right now. But this is part 3 of the armor build. I know the last one ended off a little weird, and this one's going to start off a little weird, but we're just continuing on with the waist section of this armor. Just wanted to kind of give y'all a heads up on what this build's going to be about. So mostly the waist part of the armor, cutting it, dyeing it, hopefully riveting on some stuff. So let's get started. So we're going to see what goes on. So I decided I'm just going to do this anyway, but we're going to try something. So I've put this at the max. We're going to see if we can cut something with this. I don't know if it'll work. It may not. We're going to try. So actually going to bring it down instead of getting in the way like that. Come on. We got a little off there, but we'll be fine. We can clean that up. There we go. So, bring it back. Bring it back. So, now I got this piece. Alright, so the plan here, if you can see, this is plan. Belt, padding. It goes around me like that. Okay? Does that make sense? I assume it makes sense. And I think the 4 inches was a good move. Give some good padding. Let's see how it looks. All right, so that's kind of the goal right there. Like, well, so it'll sit like there, and it will, the belt, which will have the buckle, and then the padded piece underneath. It still makes it to where I can move around. And then this bottom piece here is where it's going to attach to the rest of it. So I know my hair's a little bit of a mess right now. So right now I'm cutting some 1-inch little strips that I'm going to use for anything from belt loops, look at the right spot, Matt, and other things. Just going to have a few on hand just for when I need them, because, okay, so I got this piece. It's just a scrap piece. I'm just going to cut some strips out of it. Again, this tool is super easy to use. It's literally, you put it on there and should get it right. Here. Listen to that noise. So just going to cut a bunch of these 1-inch strips out because, again, belt loops, stuff like that. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a bunch so I have them, because I'm going to need more. All right, here we go. I got it. All right, yeah, these aren't perfect. I'm not really... See, this is where I struggle a little bit. Because when I'm working on a project for a customer, my brain's like, make sure it's right, make sure it's perfect. Sometimes I go a little overboard. But then when it comes to my own projects, I'm like, it'll be fine. The wallet I have, that's part of my issue. because all the stuff I carry that's mine, my wallet, some different stuff, I'm like, it's fine. It gets the job done. And my brain, but then someone's like, hey, can I show your work? I'm like, I really need to work on that. Yeah, so just made a bunch of little 1-inch straps. So gonna make belt loops, stuff like that. So we'll get to it. But I gotta go get dinner with the fam. So that's probably it for filming for today. Probably this video is not over. I'm just done for today. Morning guys, Matt here. We're still on, I think, part 2. Gonna work on the belt some more today. Got a little busy this morning, as in my alarm didn't go off. So gonna run, get something real quick, get a couple things, and then gonna work on, I think, the belt. Let's work on the belt while we're at it. All right, so I'm back. I got some Bojangles. I'm not hungry now. So gonna work on the belt. Look there. I got all these straps I made. Yeah. So we're gonna do that. Gonna try to mess with some stuff, try to figure that out, okay? So what I did is, if you saw in that little video, I've made all these, they're like right under 4 inches. So what they're gonna do is, if you can see, they're gonna go right there. I want them to be kind of flush because you can't see that. 1 second. So the aesthetic I wanted to do is I made them like flush. I actually might cut them back a little bit more. But I wanted these thick belt loops like this, rivet on each end, simple, just because, and then the belt's gonna go under. The reason they're longer, I've established this, you didn't know, I didn't know this, is I'm actually gonna push them in a little bit so they have a little give, so the belt can actually slide through easier. So you'll see it in a minute. We're just gonna raise the height and put myself in view. So if you saw what I've done, I've put holes in all of these, and then I've put holes in my belt. So the thing we're gonna do now is I did it to where these are going to have a little looseness on them, if you can see that. They're not completely taut. Well, they're a little tight, but we'll figure that out. Shouldn't be too hard, because once we get these oiled up and dyed, they're gonna loosen right up, even though it's veg tan. So I'm gonna do a little more finishing, make sure all these rivet holes pass through, because that punches, does them a little dirty sometimes. Here, let me mess with this one real quick. So, but I need some ideas on colors. So I've thought about doing the brown. I gotta go buy dye either way, but I've kind of thought about doing green armor. Don't know why. Green just sounds fun. I love green, and I have a whole bottle of green dye, and I'm thinking of going green instead of the brown. So we'll see. just apologize because I just got looking at the footage and realized that it had focused on me and not the work. So I'm sorry. I'm still going to include it, but I am sorry that that unfocused. But either way, I have all this painted now. So, well, the inside, I still got to get the outside. But I decided to go with green. I might not go green for the whole thing. I think I might do a mix of like browns and greens. Still not sure, but we'll figure it out. I like this green. So I've used Phoebings, I've used Angelus, I've started using more EcoFlow. I like it because it seems I get a lot more out of it. It doesn't just soak right in and it feels like you just don't get anything out of it. It feels like it spreads more, in my opinion. It feels like you just get more for your money, but that's my opinion. I will say it doesn't, from what I can tell, doesn't soak in super deep. And that's probably because it's a water-based, not alcohol-based. So that's probably part of it. I'm still learning all this kind of stuff. But, yeah. I still like it, though, because if it gets the outside covered enough, I'm happy with it, so. Alright, so I meant to film this, but didn't. So sometimes the edges can be annoying to dye. And this is not always something I would do for other work, but I did this. So I wrapped it all up so all the edges were here, and then I just was able to get all the edges all at once. I'm trying to be better about my some of my techniques I'm showing y'all, because there are techniques I will do for stuff I'm making for myself versus techniques I would do when I'm making a customer's item. Because the issue with this is some of the dye can get down and it'll probably stain. As long as I make sure I go back and make sure the stain's all correct is one thing. It's just one of those things to where if you're not careful, it can cause inconsistent staining. You know, just stuff like that. And it's just one of those things I want to make sure it looks good. I'm real bad about carrying good examples of stuff like on me. Like I said in the last video, the wallet I carry on myself is not what I would sell to a customer. So honestly, I should do better about that. But I'm gonna film riveting on once this dries.